Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I feel like it's been so long. I'm sorry. It's just been weird. Life's been weird. I've been taking some time to like really go inward and, you know, kind of just like be with myself, figure out what I'm doing, and also like school and stuff like that. But I had so many good video ideas come to me during this little like off period. So if you didn't see my last video, I posted about 2 weeks ago. It was a tarot reading for the month of February. So if you have not seen that, then I will link that here and down below. So if you want to see what tarot has to say for you for the month of February based on your zodiac sign, check that out. Other than that, I'm really excited to be back. I've been thinking about this video a lot in particular because it's something that I've been really focusing on, and I think the last year was a lot of self-love work for me. And I'm not saying like by any means that I am an expert or anything like that. I am literally just saying that I have been really low and have done these tricks, and I have some daily routines in here. I have this broken down into 3 parts: my daily routines, journal entries, and rituals. So these are things that I've been doing that I have noticed have really helped me. And everybody is like a little bit different, so I mean, totally feel free to like tailor this to your needs, or like if you want to change something here or there. These are just my suggestions, and I thought if this helps like one person, then I will have done my job. Okay, so again, sorry for this long intro. Just wanted to welcome you all. If you're new here, my name is Luna and I do witchy/spiritual videos, here to help you on your journey. I've been on my witchy journey for a few years and I like to share my ideas with you guys. So I do want to know if you want to follow me on Instagram. I'm on there like every day, and that is at Seranova. And announcement. Small announcement. You guys have already heard if you've been here a while, but I now have a podcast called Good Witch Bad Bitch, where I do super chill like conversations with you guys, and I kind of just sit down and talk about what I've been thinking about, or something that's like happening in the astrological realm or whatever. So if you guys want to hang out with me there, that's on all podcast places. You can find it on Spotify, Anchor, wherever. And I also started a Patreon, so if you guys want to help, because I am young, I don't have much money, and if you guys want to help fund my YouTube and my podcast and all my like witchy endeavors, I'll be doing like tarot readings, rituals. Like I'm thinking about doing a entire, because there's 3 tiers, but for all tiers I'm thinking about this coming week doing a self-love ritual or some sort of tarot reading or something. You guys can comment below if you subscribe to my Patreon what you'd prefer to see: a self-love tarot reading to see like where you need to implement your self-love, or a self-love ritual that is exclusive to Patreon. So if you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be down below as well. Okay, let's get started. So obviously self-love is important and confidence is super important in everything you do, and I like really struggled with this for a long time, and a lot of people think that I come off very confident, which is something that I'm kind of proud of because I've worked on that a lot. Back in my big like sad days, like I was so self-conscious, and I had a lot of like lingering trauma from, if you guys go back to my videos, you can see that I went through this journey with my skin condition where for a period of time I was like entirely head to toe like covered in eczema, and it was really hard just having your entire image of yourself kind of like literally change overnight in some instances, and just like not really, you know, connecting with the person you see. But I know a lot of people can relate to that regardless of like if it was like a skin condition or you know, if it's like a mental health condition or whatever. But it's really easy to feel not confident, and I think the day and age we live in is like cluttered with, you know, altered images on social media and like wild expectations, and just so much bad stuff for you. And like the way that our culture is, you know, we're like programmed to view certain, you know, features as more attractive or whatever. And there's, God, I could go on to this forever, you guys, but like, you know, and I think it dilutes your own personal view of yourself and what you find beautiful, which will like change your confidence. Because if you're striving to look this certain way because that's what society has taught you looks good, and that doesn't align with you, then you're never gonna feel truly confident. But if you take some time to really identify what is it about yourself that you love, even if it is completely different than what society says is beautiful or whatever, then you'll feel so much more naturally confident and that'll come to you a lot quicker. I hope that made sense. I feel like that was one big ramble, but I mean, I know that I, like, for the longest time, just as an example, was like, so, like, I've grown up in the Midwest, okay? So there's one little thing for you that's not right. And so my idea of beauty, right, was like athletic, tan, blonde hair, and I was like, that's what I gotta be. And that did not align with me, okay? And it wasn't until that I stopped worrying about spray tan, because I don't tan, I'm very Swedish. It wasn't until I stopped worrying about that and dyeing my hair that I realized I feel more like myself and more confident with black or super dark hair. And like, even though like dark hair can sometimes make you look paler, which, you know, goes against that societal view, I found my inspirations of people who I thought were gorgeous. Obviously, Megan Fox, we all love her. But like, you know, women, I found my view of what was beautiful to me. And I found what felt happy for me. And I'm not saying like you have to dye your hair, you have to do this or whatever, but for me, I just feel more myself and I feel like more authentic with dark hair rather than light hair. And so that's just like a little thing. That's like a little advice thing. I hope that made sense. So I want to start in here with the daily routines. These are things that I try to do every day, but if I don't hold myself like, you know, I don't get angry at myself. Like, I understand life happens. So whatever schedule works best for you, but these are things I like to do every day. First thing is something that I'm sure a lot of you guys know about. It's become really popular, is affirmations. And if any of you don't know what that is, it's basically saying a statement that you are trying to manifest, and it's saying it, you want to say it in the present tense, and you want to say it as many times as you need to. And I think the best times to do these are in the morning when you wake up, when you're looking in the mirror, and at night before you go to bed, because I don't know the actual science, but it's like when your brain waves are in like the proper, like right when you wake up and right when you go to bed, your brain waves are in the area where like they can easily download and remember information. That's why if you're ever like memorizing a Shakespeare monologue, tip from a theater major, do it at night before bed or right in the morning. It just helps your body, your subconscious, to retain it a lot easier. And you can say things like, I am powerful, like I am, I'm trying to think of someone on the spot. For confidence, I would say something, and obviously do it to what resonates with you, but like, I am glowing. I am a goddess, okay? I am radiant. I am, like, people notice me when I walk in the room. You want to do it like present tense statement. And you can write those on your mirror. That's something I'm gonna start doing. You can have them on your notes in your phone, which is something I do, or you can just kind of remember them, put them in your journal or whatever. And over time, you'll realize that you don't even need to say them anymore. They just are already there and you will start to see that pay off. Okay, and you can use affirmations for anything that you're trying to manifest, but I think with confidence, it's like super easy because it's something you can just remember, say every time you're looking in the mirror, say it when you wake up, you know, write it somewhere you'll see, and it really, really helps that to integrate into your subconscious. Okay, this next thing, I think I must have read this in a book somewhere, but I've been doing it for a while and I find that it really helps me. I will use whatever lotion that I am using currently and that I love. The ones that I am currently using are by Witch Baby Soap. I love this. It smells beautiful and it has a crystal in it. So I've used the Indigo and the Birthday one, and they're both amazing smelling and they're very natural. So as you're putting on your lotion, I put on lotion like at night and in the morning. This might sound weird. This might sound strange to you guys, but I promise it works, okay? As you're putting it on, really like thank your body and like thank the body part that you're putting it on and giving that gratitude. I know I sound hippy dippy right now. I'm aware that I am the hippie friend. I'm sorry, but this works, you guys. I promise it works. Like what I do, I work out, and so a lot of times my muscles are sore. So when I'm rubbing on lotion, doing a massage, I will thank my legs for literally carrying me around, carrying me through my life, being there my entire life. Your body has been with you your entire life through everything, okay? you know, putting it on your face, thanking it for helping you face the world. And your skin is your largest organ. Sorry, my cat found a coin and she's playing with it. Thanks, Lucy. But your skin is your largest organ, and I definitely feel super connected to this with my skin issues in the past. So having clear skin is amazing for me, and I feel very grateful for it. And so, you know, I thank my body for being here and for protecting me and, you know, carrying me through my day. So I know that sounds a little hippy-dippy, but I promise you guys, as you do it and you like, you know, put on your lotion, do like a little massage on yourself, and just like really look at your body and thank it for what it's done for you. And it might feel like a little bit strange at first, especially if you're not so comfortable with your body, but you'll find that you start to like get a lot more comfortable with your body. And genuinely, even if at first you're like really hesitant and you're like, this is weird and like I don't really know what to thank it for, soon you will have an ease with thanking your body for everything that it does for you. So I'm sorry if that's hippie, but that's what we're here to do. My next tip for your daily routine, this is something that has helped me so much with my inner dialogue that happens. I know some people don't have like an inner voice, but for those of you who do, which I think is the majority, if you struggle with confidence or self-love, I'm sure you have issues with saying really rude things to yourself, because I have done that too. And that was like the most recent problem. It's something that I've been struggling with, and I've only recently really getting over it. Like, I wouldn't say I'm over it, but I'm definitely a lot more aware and conscious of it. Saying you just listen to what you say to yourself. Listen to what you say to yourself. You will be like, who are you? Like, I would not even say that to like my worst enemy. Like, you say things to yourself that you would not say to anyone else. And what I've done is an inner child exercise, which is, first step is just to become aware. Take a day or two to become really aware of how you're talking to yourself, and then you'll catch yourself from then on. You'll realize when you say things to yourself, and then you can analyze it and be like, girl, why would you say that? Like, that is really weird and rude. And then after a couple of days of noticing and just keeping track of what you're saying, you can really think to yourself, would I say this to a child? And you're gonna immediately be like, oh my God, no. Like, no. Only talk to yourself in the way you would talk to your inner child. Again, sorry about Lucy. Talk to yourself in the way you would talk to you as a 6-year-old, right? You would not say those things. For an example, I will give you an example. A couple weeks ago, I was really stressed and I was like really, really tired, and like I was doing a lot and I didn't feel good, but I had a lot of stuff to do. And I was like, oh my God, just get over it. Stop being like lazy, stop being like this or whatever, you know, just do it. And then I stopped and was like, ooh, I would not say that to a sick child. I would not say that to a sick child. I would say, let's go take a nap. Let's get some soup and maybe like a nice cup of hot cocoa, and let's just like chill. Let's just relax. You know, we can do these things later. Like, you know, and really nurturing yourself in that way, because yeah, we're like adults, like we grow up and whatnot, but I think we're always a bit of a child at heart. And I think, you know, when you're an adult, you don't have parents to nurture you in your everyday life. And, you know, you don't want to become codependent on anybody. So it's really important that you are able to nurture yourself in that way and treat yourself as you would a small child. Okay, this last one is a little bit fun, a little bit silly. You can have a lot of fun with it. This is a day with confidence, okay? So you are gonna choose a day, literally any day. Do it tomorrow, do it whenever it's convenient, but do it. And you are going to spend this day entirely with confidence. You are going to embody the sign of Leo, if you guys know about that. You are going to only allow yourself to say things that are confident. Now, don't be like weird and cocky and like rude to anybody, but you're gonna wake up, you're gonna look in the mirror and say, I'm hot. I am hot. Hell yeah. I look good today. I'm doing great. I'm doing my job well. I'm doing, you know, like, just praise yourself for everything you're doing. Even if when you wake up, you're like, this is silly. I don't know if I believe this. Just believe it for a day. Literally spend an entire day believing your affirmations that you say and living with confidence. Wear the outfit that you're like a little bit like nervous to wear, but you want to, okay? Just rock it, be confident. And I know that's like, it feels a little silly at first, and it might just treat it like a performance, like a play. Like you're back in school and you're pretending, okay? You're playing house, but you're playing confident. And just try it for a day, see if it works. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's just gonna be fun, and it's gonna start to rewire your brain, and then the next day you might wake up and be like, yeah, I am hot. And keep doing it. Keep doing it until that resonates. Okay, my next section 2, is journal entries, okay? This is something I've been getting into recently, so I don't have a whole bunch of tips, but feel free to like really go with it and like kind of create your own, improv your own type of journal entries. These are 2 that I have done. I've actually done another one since, which I will mention. The first one is like a shadow work prompt. If you guys don't know what shadow work is, it's really just kind of facing your darkness, facing any negativity inside of you, and instead of like pushing it away, you're really bringing it to the surface and identifying it and looking at it with fresh eyes and trying to work through it. It's just like a healing process. And so this first one is an apology letter to your younger self, or it can just be a letter to your younger self, but I personally wanted to write an apology letter because I think that like in my teen years, I was a little bit mean to myself, and like I didn't always say the nicest things, and I didn't always think the nicest things about myself. And I think even like in my adulthood, obviously, like I said earlier, there are times when you say really mean things to yourself. And so I think it's worth it to give yourself an apology, or even just writing a letter to your childhood self and saying like, you really did awesome, like you were really great and you didn't see that, and you know, I wish you could have seen that, and I hope, you know, like in my way I wrote it like kind of like I don't know, like I wrote it like the younger self could hear it, because honestly, like it's in your subconscious, it can hear it. And so if that's something that resonates with you, that's what I did. And I thought it was really, really effective, and I actually forgot that I wrote it and then opened up the journal and saw it, and I like cried like last week because it was still relevant, because your inner child is always in you. The next thing is a nice little dark moon ritual. I know we're not 2 rituals yet, but you can do it anytime really, but this is how I did it. This is how I would recommend it. So take a paper, write down any negative thoughts you have about yourself, any negative limiting beliefs that you're holding on to, you know, like I'm not confident, I'm just not skinny enough, I'm not this enough, I'm not this enough. Write those down, okay? Look at them. Look at how stupid they look. And this is like maybe the Aries in me. Look at how stupid they look, because those are not true. Those are just lies in your head that negativity is feeding into. Realize that those are not true. Take a moment just to sit with it in meditation. Realize that those are just stupid things. And something that Alea Lovely said in her podcast, which I'll link her podcast down below because I really like it, talking about insecurities, and I'm gonna butcher how she said it, but she said something along the lines of like, if someone came up to you and said your hair's pink and your hair's not pink, you're gonna be like, you're crazy. Like, no. And that's the same thing as insecurities. If you're allowing space for yourself to believe that you are not pretty enough, and someone says you're not pretty, that's gonna hurt. But if you don't allow space for that, and you're like, no, I am like perfect, I'm gorgeous, like I'm good, and someone says it, you're gonna be like, you're crazy, that's not true. And I hope that made sense. She said it really well and really eloquently, but I heard that and I was just like, oh my god, like that's perfect, that makes so much sense. So now holding space for my own beliefs of myself, so now when people say things, obviously doing YouTube videos, people say things, but you know, wherever, and then even your own thoughts, if you're like, oh, I'm just not smart enough, you can be like, hold on a second, who allowed you here? That's not true. Like, that's not true. So stop being crazy, stop being silly. So, okay, back to the ritual. So you're gonna look at those thoughts, realize that those are silly, cross them out with a pen, cross them out. I like to cut up the individual ones. And then in a fire-safe bowl or a cauldron if you have one, light the motherfuckers on fire, okay? Just like literally light them up, cross them out first, light them up individually and watch them burn away. Do this fire safely. Be safe. Follow fire rules and dispose of it safely. Please don't cause a forest fire. But it is a really, really good experience for visualizing the letting go of that, if that makes sense. I did that on a dark moon a couple months ago, and then on the full moon, I was feeling so good. I was like, why do I feel so good? And then I remembered I had done that, and I was like, whew, moon magic, thank you for working, because we are really up in here thriving. So that really worked for me. I hope that works for you guys if you plan on using that. I think it's a really fun ritual. It just helps if you're a visual person to literally see those things, see them, cross them out and burn them, see them disappear, and energetically let them disappear, you know, let them go. And the most recent thing that I started journaling is a, I don't know what it's called like a free form, where you just let your thoughts flow for 3 pages. I learned this from Harmony Nice. If you guys aren't following her, she's a really, really good YouTuber and I love her. You just let your thoughts flow for 3 pages, and whatever you have to say, just let it happen, let it be said. And that helps me, as somebody who has like a lot of thoughts all the time, get those out and on paper. And again, not necessarily like specifically to confidence, but I think that will help you with your journey of healing. Okay, and the last section is rituals. And so the first thing is a bath ritual, and this is similar to the lotion thing that I taught you guys earlier. So run yourself a self-love bath and whatever you want in it. I usually like to do lavender and bubbles and like have some pink candles around and some rose quartz if you have some. And you know, whatever you want to put in it, just put in it. And as you are in the bath, I like to meditate, obviously, and just meditate for like 10-15 minutes. And then it's the same thing as the ritual, as the lotion ritual. It's like, you know, being with your body and just thanking your body for being exactly how it is, and thanking it for all that it does for you. And there's something really healing about just being with your body comfortably, if that makes sense. And you know, you can kind of just like, because I think a lot of people in like with how society has fed us like their lies and their expectations, there's almost like a disconnect from the body, and like people almost don't want to look at it or don't want to face it if they're struggling with confidence. They're like, I just don't want to look at it. And it's like, ooh, you got to, like you should, you know, like have these, and it could be a little bit, you know, strange at first or like a little bit uncomfy, and that's okay. Just take it at your own pace. But you know, the goal is to get you to do your lotion trick, do your bath ritual, and be able to thank your body like genuinely and feel really, really happy for all that it does. Not to say that like intrusive thoughts or like, you know, negative feelings about yourself won't come, because they still come for me, but now I have the ability and the awareness to notice when they do come and to shut them down immediately, and to kind of ask myself like, where is this coming from? Because it's not coming from me, because that's not how I feel about myself. So is this coming from, was something I saw online triggering, you know, did somebody say something, and why am I letting that person's, you know, with the like pink hair thing or whatever, why do I care what that person thinks? You know what I mean? And my last little ritual trick is, if you guys do oracle cards or tarot cards, you'll like this. This is an oracle for self-assessment. I have this oracle deck called the Ritual Deck, and it's by Zend Out, and I really, really love it because oracle decks are just really fun and easy. You know, if you don't read tarot, it's not like as hard as tarot or anything. It's a lot more user-friendly. Let me grab it really quick, it's right here. So this is my deck, and you know, you'll just take a card and it'll be like pyrite, and it'll say protection, energy, luck, and then it'll have its correspondence down below, and like obviously there's a color, and it's so easy to read. Obviously you don't have to interpret much, but you can be open to intuition, which I would highly recommend doing. But you can just shuffle them and pull 3, and there are meanings attached to them in the little booklet it comes with, but lots of oracle cards are like that. And you can kind of ask it a question of like, what traits do I need to inhibit to help me on my self-love journey? Or what traits like am I lacking? Or what do I have that I can really lean into for this coming week, or whatever. You can do this like on the full moon, new moon, or you know, beginning of the week or whatever. And there are meditations and rituals tied to each card. So you can just pull one card and kind of look at like what meditation it might be correlating with. But yeah, I like to use that I like using tarot and oracle cards too, to kind of like allow myself to step outside of my body and take a look from like the higher self and see what I am needing. The last thing is something that I'm adding at the very end. I recently, like I said, Lucy's gonna try to jump up here. Like I said, I deal with a skin condition, and so I usually don't have flare-ups or anything, but recently I had a pretty bad flare-up, and I could go into that, and I actually am going to go into that in this week's podcast episode, so if you want to hear more about that, you can listen to my podcast. But I knew it was needing to slow me down, but I was really, really struggling with because my whole face was red, and I'll post the picture here in a second. But I was just feeling so many feelings of I can't let anyone see me like this, because if they see me like this, they're not gonna like me anymore. And it's like, whoa, I had that thought. I recognized the thought was ridiculous. And I was like, okay, let's take a second and analyze what you just said, because that is wild. No hate to yourself, but that is wild. And no one who you're friends with is gonna change their opinion on you by your eczema flare. That's not gonna happen. And if they do, that's not a friend that you want or need. And so I just was hiding from social media and from everything, and I'll post the picture here. I made a meme of myself because I enjoy anime, and I thought about Zuko, okay, for those of you who are into Avatar, and I was like, okay, I look like Zuko. My eczema looks just like Zuko, and Zuko's hot, and I love Zuko, and I was just a little bit less upset about it, and I posted it, which was a big thing for me, because yeah, I have my eczema videos in the past, but I just still feel a little bit distanced from my skin condition, especially now since I haven't dealt with it so much recently. But it felt so freeing to post that vulnerability, and post it with I don't care if anyone unfollows me or stops liking me for this or whatever, because I don't care about that kind of energy, and I don't hold space for that energy. And that's exactly how you guys should view your, whatever your insecurity is, or whatever your confidence issue may be with, you shouldn't hold space for people who will change their opinions of you based off of that. Those are my tips. I hope those resonated with you guys. I really hoped that you enjoyed that, and that those helped at least one of you guys. And if it does resonate with you, please share this video with your friends, with your family, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, because that helps me out so much. It helps people find my videos, and I want exactly everybody who needs to see this to see this. So yes, again, I really hope that this resonated with you guys. Reminder that you can follow me on Patreon, on Instagram, on everything else in my podcast, and I will be here, and I will see you guys next time. I hope you're doing great. Bye!